Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to our music session, our survey of Western music. Today, we will finish up the Renaissance by focusing on secular music. As we learned last week, some of the great music of the Renaissance was sacred music sung in churches by large choirs with religious texts. And one new style of music of this time was to interweave several different vocal melodies at the same time. This type of music was called polyphony and became popular in choral music. This week, we discussed music written for its entertainment value and enjoyment. This was the pop music of the Renaissance. Church music was called sacred, but this popular music, which became a part of everyday life and performed for enjoyment, was called secular music. So, church music was sacred and non church music was secular. Secular music was largely performed in courts where kings and queens and princes and princesses lived. But the music eventually found its way to the common people of the day. So we could say that the modern day popular song or pop song can be traced all the way back to the Renaissance. The most prominent form of secular vocal music in the Renaissance is pieces for multiple voices, each of equal importance and set to fine poetry. These songs usually had between 3 and 6 singers who sang several melodies all at the same time. The songs were often romantic and sung with emotion. In the various courts and countries of Europe, local song music developed in its own particular ways. In Italy, the songs were called frottala and madrigali. In France, they were called chansons. In German-speaking lands, the songs were known as Lieder, and in England, these secular part songs were called madrigals. Today, we will examine 2 different songs. The first is Orlando de Lasso's De sus le marché d'Arras, and the second will be Thomas Weelkes as Vesta was descending from the triumphs of Oriana, composed in 1601. Orlando de Lasso's piece is a secular vocal song composed in French, so we will call it a chanson. De Lasso was born in the Franco-Flemish city of Mans, which is modern-day Belgium, in the early 1530s, and he spent most of his career as maestro di cappella, or choir master, at the Bavarian court in Munich, which is now what is part of southern Germany, until he passed away in 1594. De Lasso is considered to be one of the most famous and influential musicians in Europe at the end of the 16th century. De Lasso composed over 2,000 works in total, including 60 Catholic Mass settings in Latin, in addition to Italian, German, and Dutch songs. The example for today is one of De Lasso's 150 French chansons. It's called De sous le marché d'Arras, which means in English, at the Arras marketplace. It was published in Paris in 1584 and appears to be based on the tune of a pop song about the Arras marketplace, where a Spanish man tells a young girl that she could make good money there at the market. It goes like this. Mira-li, mira-la, un bomba j'ai trouvé un Espagnard. I found a Spanish man. Il m'a dit, fille, écoute, de l'argent on vous donnera, which means, he said to me, woman, you could make a lot of money here at the market. Senta, senta sur le bomba, mirali, mirala, bombi, mirali, mirala, bomba. So, now we turn to a madrigal or song by the Englishman Thomas Weelkes. He worked early in his career for several noble patrons. He later went on to make a living as an organist at Winchester College, where he was from 1598 to 1602. Many of his madrigals were composed around this time. He then went on to work as organist and choir master at the Chichester Cathedral, holding a clerkship on the side. His work in the church likely led to him writing English anthems and 10 complete Anglican services. The song example for today is As Vesta Was Descending. It concerns the character Oriana, who is the fantasy representation of Queen Elizabeth I, the reigning royal queen of England. The text of this madrigal shows Vesta, the Roman goddess of the home and of hearth, coming down a hill with her lady attendants. These attendants are also the lady servants of Diana, the goddess of the hunt. At the same time as Vesta comes down the hill with her maids, the maiden queen, Oriana, is climbing up the hill with her gallant shepherd boys. So Vesta's attendants desert her and race down the hill to join Oriana and meet the shepherd boys. The poem goes like this. As Vesta was from Latmos hill descending, she spied a maiden queen, the same ascending, attended on by all the shepherd swain, to whom Diana's darlings came running down amain. First 2 by 2, then 3 by 3 together, leaving their goddess all alone hasted thither, and mingling with the shepherds of her train, with mirthful tunes her presence entertain. Then sang the shepherds and nymphs of Diana, long live fair Oriana. This is one of the clearest examples of word painting. Word painting is the musical technique of composing music that reflects the literal meaning of a song's lyrics or story elements. It is a musical gesture with an actual or implied text to reflect, often pictorially, literally or figuratively, the meaning of a word or phrase. For example, as Vesta was descending, the words go up and the music goes ascending. The words go up and the music goes up. The music notes ascend. It takes words like ascending, and then the music rises up the scale. Or if the text goes descending, then the music will go down in pitch, will fall down the scale. When the text states, first 2 by 2, the maids left, there are only 2 voices singing at that time, then 3 by 3, and another voice is added, so 3 voices. Pretty soon, all 6 voices are singing because all of the maids have left Vesta and have gone down to meet with Oriana and the shepherd boys. Finally, a solo voice depicting Vesta, who is now all alone. The last part, long live Oriana, meaning really, long live the queen, Queen Elizabeth I, is word painted in the music by the longest note sounding on the word long live fair Oriana. These 2 excellent examples of pop music in the Renaissance are still being sung by chamber choirs all over the world today. Madrigal singing is a lovely art form. It goes to show that good music has no expiration date. Please turn in your work on Edpuzzle by Friday. Goodbyes.